Hey guys, Mario here. So I'm very sad to report that everybody's reporting on the same thing. Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI. You know, I have a joke from the FBI, and if you don't watch Marvel movies, I'm gonna give it to you right now. Ant-Man is forever being investigated by the FBI because he's a petty criminal, and his ex-wife has a really, really good line in the movie. She's like, "What does FBI stand for? Forever bothering individuals?" And that's exactly what they are. They're forever bothering individuals from right, not really from the left, because, well, it seems like the left are the useful idiots of the FBI, or at least of the government. We are seeing two-tier justice system headlines on Fox News talking about how they'll raid Trump over some archived documents, but they'll let Hunter Biden smoke crack off of a hooker's butt. Okay, we see it. We all see it. We see the two-tier justice system and the justice system literally getting us to out our own in order to further their agenda. This is dangerous, you guys. This is one of the reasons why the Second Amendment is so important. This is one of the reasons why knowledge is so important. If an agent shows up at your door, first thing you need to do is call 911. Say, "Hi, there's a person impersonating a police officer in front of my house. They have no authority to come into your house and ask you to see your weapons." Plain and simple. Your local sheriff will actually protect your rights, and that's the reason why we have locally elected sheriffs, because they are held accountable to the people, not the ATF, which is some crazy government agency put in place by heads of state and people who you've never even seen and you have no control over. This is why local politics is one of the most important politics that you can be involved in your entire lifetime. Because whatever happens nationally, when it comes down locally, the people who are going to stand at your door, the people who are going to stand with you and your rights, are going to be the local law enforcement, not the national law enforcement. Which is why we're seeing these law enforcement agencies losing people, because the law enforcement is seeing and they're going, "I don't agree with this anymore. I don't agree with arresting people for not having a vaccine passport. I don't agree with arresting moms who want to go up in front of a school board and talk about their child who was raped at the school to the school board because the school board doesn't want to hear it. They just want to cover up the issue." We have dads getting arrested at school boards because they dare to read from the school approved reading material, and they say, "Oh, no, this is not acceptable for public thing." But then why do you have it in the libraries? We are seeing the right and the left come to a schism bigger than we've ever seen before. And I just want to remind you all to keep your powder dry, keep a smile on your face, and pray. Pray, 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 pray. Because we need to pray for our safety. We need to pray for our country's success. We need to pray for the other side. Because as I was watching Tim Pool yesterday with Larry Elder, one of the things that Larry Elder's father said, that what does he say? There's no justice. What is it? No justice without peace, and there's no peace without hope, or something like that. The truth, there is no absolute truth except for truth delivered with hope. And that's the truth, because they were talking about this: facts don't care about your feelings, and it's true. If someone doesn't want to hear the facts, they're not going to care about it. Their feelings prevent them from receiving any new facts. As a matter of fact, this weekend I was in Dublin, Ohio with some family friends on a personal vacation, and of course politics gets brought up. I'm a big Trump supporter. They are not. And we had a roundtable discussion where everyone got a chance to talk, and I asked the important questions. Where do you get your information about Donald Trump from? Oh, well, the media. Well, do you ever go outside of legacy media? Do you ever go to independent media? Do you ever read or listen to the entire speech? Or are you just getting the context and the clips that are delivered to you from Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, C++, whatever? And they were like, "Well, no." I said, "That's kind of the problem." Because they kept harping on the fact that President Trump should have done something on January 6th. He needs to have done something. He should have been more forceful. And my answer was, by then he was kicked off Twitter. By then he was kicked off Facebook. By then he was kicked off Instagram. By then he was kicked off YouTube. He was not going to be allowed to interrupt your daily broadcast for a statement. How do you suppose he would get his message across to these people in DC on January 6th, if not on any of those platforms or on the media? How? And they sat there dumbfounded, quiet, because it's true. We make a lot of excuses for why we believe the things we do because the excuses comfort us. They make us feel emotionally comfortable, and being uncomfortable, like Brandon Strzok said, when he realized that he'd been lied to, it made him physically ill. It made him sick. So we have to keep going. You have to make them uncomfortable. They may have to get really sick in order to understand the ramifications of their positions. But most of all, you have to give it to them in a way that they can understand. When I was up in Sacramento, they were talking about the child transitioning and children making decisions for themselves without parental consent. I just said, hey, what about religion? What if a child wanted to choose their own religion at 13? Maybe they wanted to be Catholic. Would you be okay with them doing that? And all of a sudden, the argument changed. The discussion changed. I've given them the truth in an emotional package that helps them understand why we stand and we believe the things we do. This is how we're going to change the country. This is how we're going to change the world. This is how we change ourselves. So I encourage you guys to obviously pay attention to what's going on in the world around you, but also really hyper focus on the local stuff, the local school boards, the local water boards, the local districts. That's really where the heart of the fight is because when those national people come knocking on your door, the local sheriff is just a phone call away, and I guarantee you they're going to have your back. I love you guys all. I'll talk to you guys soon. Mwah! Bye, guys.